Manchester United TV, joined by manager Steve Cunningham after the 4-2 victory against Trafford in the semi-final of the Frank Cannon Manchester Premier Cup. Steve, through to the final. Not more than you can say about that.
Yeah, delighted. It's the way that we're doing it. It's going to give me an heart attack, and I think that's just going to be us. Matt, I've just said to him now, I can't get angry and frustrated anymore, because if we was to do that, we're going to end up having a fight. And I've just decided we're just going to be the team that's just going to, either if we do achieve it, it's going to be through absolute hard work, because we're going to concede really daft goals, 3 goals, daft goals, but we're going to go and score 3 and 4 to win a game. So we're certainly going to be entertaining over the next 14 games, because no matter what we do in training or who we bring in personnel-wise, we give the worst goals away I've ever seen. So we are the worst team I've managed. And I think that is going to be us now for the rest of the season. So I've told the lads, we're not down in tools. We're going to keep our standards high, because I've got a fantastic group, but we're going to have fun doing this now. And I didn't think I'd ever say that, because I'm a stickler, as you know, and I hate losing games, I hate conceding goals and bad passes. But you look at the goals we conceded again today, I think they're doing it to me on purpose. So rather than getting me angry, I'm going to laugh at them. And yeah, we're just going to have fun doing it. So delighted with the performance in large parts, delighted that we've managed to get the football club into a final. There's a lot of prestige around that, with them wanting to maintain being the most wins in the cup final. Sorry, I think it's the 23rd cup final now as well,
yes,
in the competition, and also the record for the number of wins. So 16. Yeah, delighted to be another manager along all the other gaffers that have done that. But yeah, more for the club, more than the players.
Obviously, a few standout performances. Keelan Adams making his return to the starting lineup. Al Byrne with what I think is now his 23rd assist of the season. I'm sure Al will correct me if I'm wrong. And Jason Gilchrist with his 15th goal of the season with his double.
Yeah, I'll just correct you a little bit on that. They certainly weren't standout performances, because Keelan was blowing. He didn't really touch the ball that much, but he ran around a lot, which was great for him, because he's been out for 15 weeks. And when he come off, he said, "Gaffer, I'm dizzy, I can't breathe, so I'm glad you took me off." So I know some fans were like, "Oh, what are you doing?" Sometimes you've got to know your players, and he was affecting the game to a point. And then if he says that's a cross for the assist, it certainly wasn't. I've seen him shoot like that, because he'd be asking for an assist bonus. But then Al Byrne, he's had an okay game, but he's also cost me a goal. So that weren't a standout performance. That was a standout performance for Trafford. So I'm not happy about that either. But with Al, what he does do is he'll always go and put a mistake wrong, and he'll try and put in a shift. So even if he's not having a great game, he will always put in a shift, and I can't fault him for that. But yeah, what a great number of assists, by the way, and he lets me know about that every week. And Gilly, he's been on the bench a lot of late because of Jake Charles' form, but when he comes on and he's playing, he's scoring goals. If you look at his 2 goals tonight, he scored against Chatterton. Fair play to him. So he's going on and being professional, and that's what we expect him to do. So really pleased for Gilly that he's getting his goals as well.
Obviously, either Curzon or Avro in the final of the Premier Cup, that game next week. Obviously, big local derby, your former club in one-off position, or aside from the league below, that are up and coming and sort of firing the way through the league, than Avro?
Yeah, I think it's a tough game for Curzon. I think Avro are a fantastic team. If you were looking at the draw, you'd sort of go Curzon probably got the rough end of it, with the likes of Wivenshaw and certainly Avro. And no disrespect to Trafford, because they put up a pretty good fight tonight. But when you looked at our draw with Chatterton and Trafford, you go, we'll take that to try and get to a final, especially with our quality, you'd expect that. But it's not a gimme for Curzon. But what a great season Marnie's having. I took Marnie to the football club, and I think I've just seen a milestone of appearances for him. And I'm really pleased for him, and I hope they do well. And people think there's a lot of bitterness between me and Curzon. There isn't at all. No, there's not. And if it is them, you know what? It'll be a fantastic occasion. I've still got some friends there. I was even speaking to Jimmy Newall only last 2 weeks ago, and that's who it all started with, between me and him originally. So if we can put water under the bridge and talk the way that we did it only a couple of weeks ago, and he's wished us well after certain games as well, I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, there's no needle. It's 2 big clubs in the area. If it is them, you know, we're talking about them. If it's them, it's not. Avros, it'll be a bloody tough game as well if we got them. But for me, as an added personal thing, yeah, it adds a bit of spice to the game, certainly does. And I'd certainly want to go and beat Marnie.